Hey, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Amused Jester. My name is Junior. We're looking into Hasbro's Cobra G.I. Joe Classifieds Dreadnought Torch. First thing I will address is the box. I actually like the changes they've made. It's very compact. Feels like, I don't know, it just looks so much better for me because there's not a lot of open spaces or empty spaces, just very compact. And yet it still shows you the figure very well. Um, there's the back of the figure over here. The only thing I would suggest is if they could borrow what Mattel did with their Masterverse, where it has a smaller picture here that basically contains the figure and what's inside. That'll be so perfect for me because that's about the same size as my baggies where I keep my accessories. So yeah, this is basically the new style. See, look, it's all the same thing with Jinx and Naugahyde. It's, I think it's the black border that's newer compared to the older ones, and has a very prominent symbol of the Cobra, and the G.I. Joe tells you which one they belong to. So yeah, I'm kind of happy with the packaging. I mean, of course, I'm not into packaging as much, but I approve of the changes. So let's go ahead and see what's going on inside. Alright, so here he is out of the packaging. First things I like, flame effects, or more specifically weapon effects. These add so much to the value of the pieces. Just for the display factor, it gives them a lot of action feature, you know. It's not the best, but for what we are given, I still approve of it. And at which point we've already talked about the gumminess or the rubberiness of the material, particularly on accessories and all that stuff. In which case, this actually is a little bit helpful because when you take it out of the packaging, of course, it's going to be bendable. So it's easy. It's good that it's actually bendable back, you know. So and then so this is straight shot. This might be a blooming effect, and then this is just standby, about to blow off. Two guns, very similar. There are two guns, very similar in nature. Oh, it's got some etching flames in the very tip of the barrel over here. Kind of hard to see that. Actually, it's easier to see it in camera than in person. I'll just flip it over. And because the other one is exactly the same. Bare plastic, no colors whatsoever, but for the price point, I don't mind. Here is the, I guess, blowtorch, and look at that, it's got a skull at the very end of it, and the flame effects here on the top. So that's really cool. So again, if you want to customize this and make it your own by painting up your weapons, that's completely up to you to give it more value. But I'm good with the fact that it's unpainted right now because the value increases because the price is not. So that's good for me. A hose, bendable hose that you're going to use to attach the blowtorch to the tanks. Which case, here is the tanks. Knox rule. Couple of flame skull with a couple of X's indicating he's killed a few people. So I'm liking the Tampa over here, liking the yellow contrast the black, and the black is just black. There's nothing else for this tank, so very sparing, but still welcome that it's there. And then it's just flat over here. And here's torch over here. We're continuing on zeroing in on the head sculpt. Very nice. Now this feature or this portrait has the glasses sculpted in, so that's good. I'm kind of undecided on that. Sometimes I like being able to remove the glasses. But at the same time, it is very small. I could easily lose it. Got a floating necklace over here, so that's cool. This choker I think it's actually a separate piece, is it? No, it's not. But it's, I think it might be, but it's like really tight and they're glued in. But look at the small painted details. Even the zipper is painted in this one, so that's good. And even the buckles. I think that really makes it pop because otherwise I would almost expect it to not be painted, especially with what happened here with accessories. But I'm glad that if they were able to add paint apps, they would concentrate more on the figure than anything else. You know what I mean? So the allocation of where the paint apps went, the budget, I'm glad that they put it on the figure. This really rocks. Now are these removable? They probably are because they're kind of loose over here. So I'm assuming that if you pull this off, this one, thank goodness, is not. It's sculpted into the hand. This is removable with a flame tattoo. Same thing on the other side. This, oh wow, so this is actually, you can remove that if you want, very tightly sculpted against the biceps. Again, maybe someday in the future they'll have a feature where you can remove the arms and this will be removable. But it's nice and loose and floating up there, but it's really hugging the figure very well. Then you have a painted sculpted chain-like belt. Oh, nice. Tempo in the back. Unexpected. Very much welcome. Then very basic design on the pants and very basic design on the boots as well. Alright, so let's go and look at the articulation on this one. How high does he go up looking? Regular size, regular down. A little bit off to the side, of course. You can do the exorcist move. It does have a joint here and a joint on the neck, so it might give you a little bit more movement if you want to. The usual articulation for the Joe, does he have butterflies? He doesn't have butterflies. There is, but it's so slight. Do we even want to mention it? You know, it's there, but it's not there. Shoulders will go up to there. Bicep swivel. Double jointed on the elbows again. So at least mine is moving, but the limitation of the sculpt, it's barely 90. Let's see what would happen if we were to do the same without the look at that. So it's a little bit better because this one is not in the way, and the wrist goes all the way and up and down on both sides. Okay, the articulation on the waist carries the old joint where it's straight cut down, so you can have that kind of movement. You can see the joint right there, and oh, more in the back, less so in the front. It's cool. Got a clicking noise there, like a ratchet. That's kind of interesting. And of course the waist cut over here. Does it have a drop down on the legs, as we've known G.I. Joe to have? Goes up pretty nicely. Double jointed knees. Does he have a boot cut? Let's see. There is a boot cut to swivel the boot. There is an ankle joint here. Up and down is not a problem. And a swivel on the ankle. Everything is covered. Everything is nice. It's nice and tight. Nothing loose. I'd say this is a very well done figure. Let's see. Put that up there. And we'll put this over here. So you have an option of having him on standby with a flame effect like that, or with a kind of like a short flame effect where it's just pulling back, and a full-blown flame effect where it's just firing straight at you. So that's pretty cool. Of course, because of, if you're going to use this one right here, you'll have to deal with the added weight front forward. Look at that. That's the other advantage of having rubbery weapons. is it's easy to put out. The good thing is, let me see, it doesn't seem to droop as much, so it's able, whatever the material this is, it's able to carry the weight that's being added onto the tip. Like, look at that though, that just looks really cool. Oh, my fault. I'm pushing it in. I'm not even looking at the joint. The joint's looking back. Or, that kind of, I suppose, is a good example of how kind of less prone to breakage. Like, I really forced that going to go this way, not even looking at the joint, and no damage done. So I was trying to do this pose. So that's good. That's good to know. So I'm glad mine was pretty set. And would it be going this way? Yeah, it would be going that way. So that's it. I really like it. I mean, oh, now I have a little bit of a gap on my thing here. What can I say, man? So I am more aware of the Dreadnought, not entirely the roster. So there's a plus for the character. Really like that head sculpt too. Plus for the character, plus for the design. Updated, but harkening to the classic designs. Very, very true. So I'm glad about that. Playability factor, dude. The flame effects, plus. If you can, like, if somehow, because these are, for example, the guns, to have the firing effects, that will be so useful for all figures that it will be a good addition to have on all their figures. It really is. I mean, especially these newer guns, they have the portholes already, so they're ready. It just needs to be done. I don't know, man. What can I say? It's like I said, GI Joe classifieds. They are on the top of my list in terms of pricing. What they're delivering, it's very, very high. In this line, this will be my top number one line, and then I think for the 7-inch line, it's NECA. But I think if I were to compare this one to NECA, this would still beat it because it has has a much better range in articulation. NECA's better in paint job. Like, NECA just looks awesome. This looks good for what it is. But yeah, G.I. Joe Classifieds. I'm so excited for this line. I'm finding myself rearranging my display area by removing some lines that I'm no longer interested in and giving it to the G.I. Joe Classifieds. That's how how happy I am with this line. I want to give it to the G.I. Joe Classifieds because of the size of the vehicles that I'm planning on getting and supporting for them. So anyway, that's it for my review. Thank you for watching. I will be reviewing Jinx and Naugahyde next. So stay tuned. Bye.